Turn it up, let the nerds run free. Hey, hey, we got the mics turned up and the dice on the table. Comic books stacked in the streaming cable. Lightsabers glowing in the back of the room. Someone yelling Marvel Phase 22. We got board games set and the pizza arriving. Someone quoting Batman like their life depends on it. Anime battles, debates getting wild. Someone shouting that character shove it survive. From Hogwarts halls to galaxies far, from Gotham City to Hyrule's heart. If you love the lore, then you know the thing. We're the nerds doing nerd things. Everybody sing, roll your body, sing. Roll the dice, press star, let the phantom ring. From the comics to the movies to the games we bring. Nerds doing nerd things. Let the whole world know. If it's geek culture, we're running the show. Turn the volume up and let the fandom glow. Hey, NDNT. Hey, NDNT. Talking Star Wars theories till 2 in the morning. Arguing canon while the storm is forming. Someone yelling, that's not Laura accurate. Someone else yelling, bro, just enjoy it. Retro games loaded up, ready to play. Mario Kart friendships ending today. Someone just pulled the ultimate move. Blue shell flying and the whole room boom. From D&D rolls to video game kings. From anime arcs to wrestling rings. If you love the lore, then you know the thing. We're the nerds doing nerd things. Everybody sing, roll their body, sing. Roll the dice, press start, let the phantom ring. From the comics to the movies to the games we bring. Nerds doing nerd things. Let the whole world know. If it's geek culture, we're running the show. Turn the volume up and let the fandom glow. Hey, NDNT. Hey, NDNT. Who loves comics? We do. Who loves games? We do. Who loves movies with a billion fan theories? Who debates the ending for the next 10 years? From the nerd cave to the podcast throne. If you love the fandom, you're not alone. Nerds. Doing nerd things. 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 Hey, NDNT. Hey, NDNT. We're the nerds doing nerd things. Everybody sing. From the tabletop rose to the fandom king. If you love the nerd life, let the whole world ring. Nerds doing nerd things. Raise your controllers high. From the anime tears to the battle cry. Turn the mics up loud. Let the nerds all fly. Hey, NDNT. Hey, NDNT. Turn it up, let the nerds run free. Hey, hey, NDNT.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hey there, the name's Nukem, Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. For some unknown reason, enjoy.
What's going on, nerds, and welcome to this week's episode of the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. We are talking about 2024's Alien Romulus movie. Wow.
Sorry, I just distracted AJ.
Is that like in your memories? Like, did that like pop up? Like, is that like today, like 2 years ago?
No, that's December 9th of 2020.
So she was a week
So-
old in
Yeah.
that photo? I look so happy. Okay, well, now that I've been completely distracted, thank you, Susie. She sent me a picture of me holding her daughter when she was a week old, and I have this shit face grin. I was like, "It's my baby."
She was so tiny.
Yeah, Paxton wasn't that small.
Dude, she was as long as my dog. Actually, no, that's a lie. My dog was bigger than her.
Yeah, your baby was tiny. Yeah, we're talking about Alien Romulus. Came out in 2024. It's 119 minutes long. It released on my birthday.
For
$80 million.
So much creepier.
But made $350.9 million. Freddie Alvarez directed the movie. He also wrote it. Ridley Scott came on to help produce it. It stars Kaylee Spacey. Oh, whatever. David Johnson, Isabel Merced, which if you've seen the Last of Us TV show, she plays Dina. But yeah, let's get into it. Corporate greed is huge in this universe. She's a free girl that gets told that she has to go back into the mines and works. So they all look for this plan to get off world. That leads them onto the ship.
So she's not a free girl until she checks out.
But they keep
And
moving the
they keep
goalpost.
upping the limit, which is honestly so totally something people would do, especially if they're like strapped for help, because
Corporate would definitely do that to people.
oh yeah,
Or they'll fire you like a week before your 25th anniversary with the company, where you get like extra bonuses and everything. But as I just lit my pineapple Dole Whip candle, were you shocked that they made it to the Nostromo? Like that was the ship that they were going to? And how long did it take you to realize it, or did you have to see Ash to realize it?
I had to see Ash to realize it. I did not.
Okay.
I didn't fully realize that it was the Nostromo.
By the way, spoiler, everybody. We're spoiling. It's a spoiler episode. That's what we do here. Unless we tell you it's a spoiler-free episode from the get-go, expect the spoilers. So, sorry that we kind of screwed that one up a little bit for you. Continue, Susie.
Because that's the worst thing we're gonna do. I
No,
was
the
not
worst thing is
expecting
you
the
just bag on me the whole freaking time. But Ryan's not here, so
we can fix that.
no. No.
I was shocked that they were going to the Nostromo. So far, almost every single movie has been named or has some correlation to the title.
Yep.
Obviously the exception of that being the original Aliens.
And the connection with the title and the ship is it's Romulus Bay.
Yeah.
That's where all the experiments are. Ugh. But no, they get on it. Everything's going peachy. They know that there's cryo sleep on board. They're going to use it to get to this friendly planet that's like 9 years away, but they're going to sleep through it. And they realize that there's not enough fuel. It'll only get them about 2 years, so they go searching around the ship. And that's when they get into the cryo chamber with all the face huggers.
Yeah.
Well, one of them gets free here. Just one. And it kind of attaches itself to Navarro. And they don't realize it. We realize it. As an audience, we realize what happened. And what is going to happen. And that, for us, I feel like that builds the suspense.
Yeah.
Because we don't know when it's actually going to happen. She makes it to the ship and they're going to escape because David Johnson's character, which, oh my God, him as Andy, the way he's able to turn on the emotion when he's a friendly android to then completely shutting it off when Ash is kind of in his head when they switch the chips to give him override authority. Phenomenal acting job. Absolutely knocks it out of the park. Should have won an award. I don't know if he did, but holy crap. It was that good. I loved how he was able to turn on and off the emotion depending on if he was a friendly or...
Favorite android so far?
Him, Andy.
Hands down?
Yes, 100%. And then it's Michael Fassbender's character, and then we'll go with Ian Holmes' Rook.
I feel like this might be the first time you and I actually agree on something.
That's not true. We agree all the time.
It just never sounds like we agree.
No, it doesn't. Because playing the contrary is a hell of a lot more fun.
Yeah.
But now that Navarro has been infected, Isabella's character Kay sees the birth of the first xenomorph of the friend group.
Yeah.
And it kind of doesn't stop from there. Like, that's the moment where the movie takes off and doesn't slow down. And I'm probably going to have to rewatch this movie again, and I really don't want to. But I found myself seeing Easter eggs to the first Alien movie, like, consistently, and I feel like I might have missed a lot of them because of being so enthralled in what we were seeing with this group of characters. And does it mess with you more that this is a younger group of characters versus the adults?
I think it messes with me, but also I think it's an interesting perspective.
Because they're kids. They're
kids.
Late teenagers, maybe early 20s at best.
Yeah, and one thing I will agree with you, AJ, on that, I feel like I missed a couple of Easter eggs, so I will be going back to rewatch the movie. You're literally getting me on one take of the movie, and normally by now, I think I've watched each one of the movies at least twice or 3 times just to make sure I have a full grasp of like what's going on and what I like and what I don't like. I've also found that sometimes with movies, especially when they're slow paced in the beginning, watching them a second time, I catch things that I miss because it's so slow.
Yep.
But yeah, there's probably a good solid 20-30 minutes that I no longer wanted to watch the movie.
Yeah. And it's like the part where you don't want to watch the movie anymore, but it's also at that point where you're kind of
invested. Like, you're invested in the movie. Now you
and
need
you're
to
like,
see it through to the end.
I can't look away.
Yeah, I have
Uh,
to watch it all the way to the end.
and the fact that they're able to show how smart these xenomorphs
Ugh.
are, and all it took was Andy to not open that door for Isabella or Kay. Well, sorry. Um, all it took was him not to open that door. It's like, it's waiting for us to open the door. It's gonna kill us all. Sorry, you're gonna have to die.
Yeah, I love that aspect because it really shows.
As cruel as Andy's being, he's trying to keep everybody alive, even though he's not part of the group at this point. He's being taken over by the
I
company.
was gonna go a different route than that, but I agree with your point.
Well,
I was
they
gonna
put
say,
Ash's chip in his head.
well,
It's Ash.
I was.
I will shut up. Okay, sorry.
Thank you. Let me say my point before you continue down your thought train. I think it honestly shows like how unemotional androids are. They just evaluate the situation. They don't take into account who these people are in relation to themselves.
But that only happened when they took Ash's chip out of Ash's head, because he was very coherent with that group. I know a couple people in the group did not like Andy, but he was very all for himself and making sure that Rain's character stay alive, mostly
Yeah.
her. But there were a couple moments in this movie, and I know I messaged you on them.
You messaged me on one. I know you messaged me on
Well,
one.
no, I did two of them, because while we see how smart the xenomorphs are, there are so many face huggers on board,
Oh my god.
and they have to walk through a bay full of face
You know,
huggers.
that number of face huggers would be fine if they just kept my face warm. They don't just keep my face warm.
Oh my god, and speaking of keeping the face warm, when they pulled the face hugger off of Navarro, I almost gagged.
Right?
Because what, that wasn't even the tail. Where does that long thing come from?
Right?
I don't
Like
even
that.
want to. It was. This movie definitely got me in multiple aspects: the fear, the gross, and the jump scary. Because there was one jump scare at the end of the movie that really got me. But no, that's when we realized that the face huggers go by heat signature and sound, which I never knew that. That was new for me, right there.
Oh, there was a lot of things that were discovered during this that is really cool. That was like super cool to find out.
And watching Tyler's character while he's on the intercom piece with Kay, and watching him immediately get the goosebumps,
Yes.
and start sweating, and Andy just goes, "Run, run," and they start booking ass. And come to find out that he was shutting that door whether Tyler was making it or not, and he Indiana Jones slides right through.
Yeah.
It felt like from the moment Navarro gets infected, this movie hits a point where it's going at a thrill speed for the rest of the movie. It does not come back down until Rain and Kay go into the about to go into the cryopods, because it's almost the exact same thing with Ripley in the first Alien movie, where you have the come down when she's on the ship, like leaving, but yet there's still another alien, and then it comes back up, and you're back into, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And this is the same concept. You think everything is daisies, and then her pod starts going crazy. She's got this huge and gore. Oh God.
Okay.
I'm not a woman. I can't speak about this, but no.
Okay. Um, that is probably the most realistic vision I could imagine for an alien birth this way.
Oh, okay. That's not where I thought you were going with that. I was like, you
Um,
birth a pod?
I definitely preferred this over the reverse C-section.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Reverse C-section 100% of the way. We did not get what we got from the reverse C-section. And
No. This is the only thing that I don't like about this version is um my daughter sleeps one room over from me. I'm upstairs watching it. One room over from my kid. And I wanted to scream so freaking loud. What the hell am I watching? This
I
is bullshit. What is that? I'm disgusted.
I was in the Discord with Ryan, Joe, and when I'm watching a movie, I'll throw it up in Discord so everybody can watch it if they want to.
Hmm.
And I have Paxton. We're watching the movie. He's watching Sesame Street on my phone. And it's not even me. Because Ryan hasn't seen the Alien movies. Well, the newer Alien movies. And he goes, what the is that thing? Ah! And I'm paying attention, but I'm not like paying like 100% the attention.
Yeah.
And that's a xenomorph human, and that is gross.
That was disgusting. I like I feel like I've seen it before. Like not obviously I've never seen this movie before, but I feel like I've seen it in like a clip or like there's some other movie that has something similar. I almost turned the movie off, like right then and there. But
Yeah, I thought about it.
I took a lot of guts for me to stick it out because I really, really wanted to turn it off.
So it kills Kay's character. It slashes Andy pretty bad. And now Rain is basically by herself to defend herself and get rid of this humanoid xenomorph, basically. And would it have been better if it was a straight xenomorph for you, or because it was a human featured xenomorph, it messed with you more? I feel like that's what. Yeah,
it messed with me more. And to be completely like honest, there are rumors that there's an Aliens Romulus 2 coming out.
I hope so, because for the most part, I did enjoy this movie.
I really like the characters in this movie. I'm getting really tired of the MO for alien movies of killing off every single person except for one. That is the MO I'm getting
Feels
a little
like
tired
Hunger
of.
Games in a way, where then they all need to like come together and then fight to the death.
So I'm getting a little tired of that aspect of it. But I'd love to see like I think I'm interested to see what the evolution is for the xenomorph, and if the evolution for the xenomorph is what we saw in this movie.
I mean, looking at Haley's Rains' character, her IMDb, it does say Alien Romulus 2 is in pre-production.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's why I mentioned it.
It was a good movie. I very much enjoyed it. What did you think of the Uncanny Valley aspect with Ian Holmes's Rook? Did it mess with you a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because he unfortunately passed 4 years before this movie came out. And you could tell in some aspects that they took his features and his aspects, and then somebody basically talked like him.
Oh yeah, and that weirds me out to a degree, but that honestly, it would weird me out if they took oh my god, you quizzed me on this name and now I Ham voice of Ham.
Like the pig? Toy Story?
Yes.
I hate you because I know it too.
There's like it's John something.
Not Ratzenberger.
Yeah,
But
Ratzenberger.
he doesn't play Ham. Oh, it is it. Okay, yeah, it is. Son of a gun.
Did you just did I just know something that you didn't know about
I
Toy Story?
I knew it. I just fact checked myself real fast. Fight me. Don't.
I'm gonna marvel at the fact that I was confident in my answer that Ham was John Ratzenberger, and the man that is on this with me was not confident
No,
in my
it's
answer.
Slinky's the one that died a couple years ago.
Who who voiced Slinky?
Ah, you're making me go back to it.
Yeah, I am.
Jim Varney. Oh, he died in 2000. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh, he played Ernest. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But my example still works because John Ratzenberg is a like well-known name, especially for like voice acting. So for somebody else to try to portray a character that he was, it's weird.
Yeah.
I, I don't like it so much. It's definitely it's it was an interesting take on it, but it worked for this movie. I will say that it definitely worked for this movie. I don't think it would work for other movies.
I say it works for this movie because it added to the aspect of the Nostromo still technically being kind of alive with him being on it and controlling it
Yeah.
and continuing to push the company's narrative. That's what his directive was. It was that serum that looked like it cured the rat until the camera pans back over and the rat's like 10 times the size and completely disgusting.
Yeah.
Which, at that point, and then we see Kay's character jab herself with it to try to save herself. Were you expecting Xenomorph Baby at that point? Or did you.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I was expecting some form of Xenomorph Baby at that point because
I was expecting her to become a Xenomorph.
oh, see, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
That didn't even cross my brain cells. Please get him. Please bite him. Do it.
Oh.
I will tell you that my child is asleep, so if this dog wakes my child up, I'm going to beat the person who just walked in my house.
That is not the person's fault. That's your dog's fault.
I can blame the person who just walked in my house.
You just want to beat the shit out of somebody, it feels like.
I've been wanting to beat somebody up for the last 2 weeks.
So happy I haven't seen you.
Eh. You're not
But,
fluffy enough for me to beat you up.
excuse me?
You're excused?
I am not. Did you say I'm not fluffy enough?
Yes.
What the fuck you call this that I've been working on for 25 years? Alright, enough of the AJ Fat jokes.
I didn't make the AJ Fat joke. You
thinking
did.
them. Shit, where'd my brain go now? What was I saying before that?
Something about the Nostromo and the puppet.
Oh, no, I was expecting Hayes' character turn into a xenomorph. I slightly forgot she was pregnant until that happened.
So yeah, so I remember that she was pregnant, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get a xenomorph baby. Like this is gonna transform her baby." And oh no, what is? I was like a little bit freaking out for her. And yeah, I'm not okay. That is not how that should have gone down.
Well,
But I mean, do we really expect anything different considering we know that the android that was on Prometheus, um, because I can think of the actor's name, I can't think of the character's name. David. David. Was performing experiments.
Michael
So
Fassbender.
yeah, yeah, I could think of the actor's name. I couldn't think of the character's name.
Oh, okay. Fair point.
But like we knew he was doing experiments, so it begs to reason that it was only a matter of time before something like this occurred. Love doing experiments and not having enough to back up said experimentation. So you look like you're deep in thought, AJ.
No, I'm just still reading stuff. If they were to come out with an Alien Romulus 2, where would you want to see it? Or how would you want to see it continued? Because right now, they're just in cryo sleep, heading 9 years away to a planet that does not like androids.
Ooh. I don't think they're going to make it to that planet.
They built themselves into a sequel if they want to by saying they might not have enough fuel to get there,
Mm-hmm.
possibly crashing into another ship or
Yeah,
planet.
I definitely I don't see them getting to that planet. But I definitely do see them getting into something like um what happened um with the Nostromo or the Romulus Bay, where that alien was very much alive.
Mm-hmm.
Though I do like the acid aspect where their blood isn't blood, it's
It's acid.
acid. Like I
And I
think
love
that's the
how she
most,
uses it.
yeah. She uses it to eject him. I think that's the most ingenious thing ever. They have their own weapon built in.
So, looking at some of the awards that this movie won, it was nominated for a very much a good chunk of awards, uh, being along the lines of Hollywood Professional Association Awards to the San Diego Film Critics, the Golden Globe. It was nominated for cinematic and box office achievement. Nominated. Academy Awards. It was nominated for Best Visual Effects. At
Okay.
Critics' Choice Super Awards, it was nominated for Best Science Fiction and Fantasy Movie, Best Actor in a Science Fiction Fantasy Movie for Andy, for David Johnson, which I kind of wish he would have won. Best Actress in a Science Fiction or Fantasy Movie for Rain's character Callie, or Callie's character Rain. But it did win 2 awards. It went with the Saturn Awards. It won Best Horror Film, and with the Visual Effects Society Awards for Outstanding Model in a Photoreal or Animated Project, it won that award as well.
Okay.
So, and if I'm just counting on how many awards it was at least nominated for, we're looking at least 25 nominations with 2 wins. So at least it got some recognition, which I'm very happy to see because as freaked out as I was for this movie, and during this movie, especially the jump scare while she's dangling outside the drop pod, and through the dust comes the humanoid xenomorph, and I jumped. Not gonna lie, it got me out of my seat. I very much enjoyed this movie. I might even put this right with God. This might actually be my favorite Alien movie right now because there was so much to it,
Yeah.
and there was so
Uh,
much like character.
this might be my favorite simply because of the character development.
And they didn't. Everything felt kind of justified.
Yeah.
Navarro is freaking out because she had one of those things on her face, so that's
Mhm.
understandable why she reacted. Uh, Bajorn reacted because he's kind of in love with Navarro, so he's trying to keep her safe. And he's an android. And it didn't feel like how the other movies were they got into this mess because they were dumb.
Well, I mean, they did get into this mess because they were dumb.
But they wanted to
But,
get off a planet because of slavery.
but see, this is where, yes, they got into this mess because they were dumb, but it wasn't because they were they were doing it to get a better life for themselves. Um, I think that they kind of went in too hastily, but
But
I
I think
think
that
that's
goes
why.
back to what they're being like they're
But,
teenagers to early adults.
right, but I think that's why I like this movie so much is because it's we're not starting off on them being on a voyage,
Mhm.
coming out of cryos. Okay, I don't know what word I was trying to say, but it wasn't the word that finally came out of my mouth. Um, and I think that that's what makes the whole difference is it doesn't have a whole lot of slow pacing. It's all kind of
The beginning, it was all build, but once it hit that moment, it kept going.
right. The minute they left the planet, it just kept going, and for me, that made all the difference.
Yeah, there was no. It was a
Yeah,
consistent up and then until the end.
yeah, and I think that for me makes it so much better.
So, do you think this movie would have done? Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of a backstory here. Um, this movie was intended to be released on Hulu. Walt Disney Pictures Motion Pictures saw the movie and says, "No, this needs to be in theaters." Does the movie do better if it was on Hulu, or did it do as good because it was on a theatrical screen? Because it did make a book to of money. They made it for 80 million and they brought home 350.
So this is like the height of the post COVID streaming era.
Where everybody saw what they could do during COVID and they're like, "Oh, we can continue to do this."
We could continue to do this, but there's the flip side where people were wanting to get out and socialize and be normal. I know I was one of them. I was beyond ready to go back to normalcy.
Yep.
And I understand this was 2024 and COVID was 2020, but we were still kind of uh, in the cusp of being normal versus
We're trying to
uh,
remember what before 2020 was.
yeah. So I don't think I think it probably would have done as well on Hulu, but I think it did better in theaters
I don't think it makes
because,
anywhere near the money.
well, I'm not looking at the money aspect. I'm looking at how movies are made. And there are just some movies that no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, because of how they're made and how they're developed,
Well,
watching them on like a tiny little screen, it's not the same. It's like going to see it. It's like watching a brand new Star Wars movie on my little tiny screen versus watching it on a big movie screen and feeling
Yeah.
like you're immersed in the action.
While I feel more people might have watched it on Hulu, I I'm upset that I didn't get to go see this. Waited this long for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I was waiting for the.
No, I'm
You're a
there's
scary
there's
bitch. What do you mean you're going to
a
go see a scary movie?
I can drag you to see almost anything. So
That's not true.
I said almost anything.
Okay, that might be a little more true.
I said I can drag you to go see almost anything.
Just because our friend group takes me to scary movies to not even watch the movie, to watch me watch the movie.
Actually, it's to watch the two of us watch the movie, but
Okay, I'm not trying to bury myself, but I'm 10 times worse than you are. Where's AJ? He's stuck in his seat.
yeah. He'll be along. Give him about 10 minutes.
I still can't believe we went to go see that movie.
I still can't believe I haven't added it to the roster. You're welcome. We're doing mostly.
It's not gonna happen. I just realized something. Did we ever do Ghostbusters?
Yes.
We did? Okay.
Yes.
Did we do the new ones?
I don't know.
I started playing the game again because I was bored.
Because you were bored.
The game is fantastic.
The game is fantastic. Well, why don't you play Spyro? That's just as much of a wholesome game.
Because Spyro's not fun anymore. As much fun as I have with it, it's not fun anymore because I know where everything is. Would you stop that? When I could beat the first game in under 3 hours, it's a problem. And 100% the game in under 3 hours, it's a problem.
No, what's the problem is that I was doing that for a solid like 5 minutes before you caught on.
Oh, shit. I've got nothing else. The next movie we have on our board is Aliens.
We're going back to Sigourney Weaver.
Which I kind of expected to maybe see her. I was expecting to see her in this movie because this does take place between the two.
I'm actually glad that we didn't.
I am too, but I wanted that connection.
We might get the connection further down the line.
But Rook was the connection.
Yeah. But yeah. As much as I want Sigourney Weaver in one of these movies, like one of the newer ones, I also don't. And I don't because I don't want to see her be CGI'd young.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Like, I love me Sigourney Weaver. I would her feelings would not be hurt to see her in one of the newer movies, but I can't. They wouldn't do it justice CGI. Like, it would be completely different than doing Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian where he was CGI'd young.
I thought it was Sebastian Stan at first. No, I'm serious.
Yeah. But it would all depend on how they did it. So that's my stance on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. But I got nothing else. We're doing Aliens next week. The actual sequel. My phone went off and I don't of the Aliens movie. I got nothing else.
Okay. I only have one thing before we chime off.
Which is
And it would involve your water bottle at some point. But the bigger thing is someone's birthday was this past Tuesday, and she has been a great supporter.
she made that.
And huh?
She made that design.
Yeah, she's been a great supporter, great everything for AJ and myself. So I would not be doing this team any justice to not shout her out for her birthday. And that would be AJ's beautiful wife, Jess.
Yes, my wife is very beautiful, even though she can't hear me or is not watching this episode right now. She is amazing.
She is, and she's probably taking care of a very grumpy baby.
Oh, he's not that bad, right?
You're down there, not up there.
Yeah, but I usually hear him.
True. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be doing her justice. And then, of course, he had to show off her brilliant stickers because she's amazing.
Go into the description. We have a whole merch store.
Yeah.
I did add significantly a lot more merch.
Check it out.
But
Give
yeah,
us some love.
thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you Sunday morning for the wrestling show.
Hope you're serving breakfast with that.
I know. No, I don't cook breakfast. I burn breakfast.
Good to know.
This is why I only have breakfast in Disney. 'Cause I don't cook.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.